Third thing I'd like you to walk away with today is no excuses. Now, hypocritical as it may sound, I've been known to pre-board a plane. Yes, thank you. What? I wasn't wearing my handicap sticker. I'm not a handicap, I'm a handy-capable. I remember we pulled up to the Rocky Mountain National Park, and we pulled up, and it's my wife and I, and kids are in the back, and we got out to the park, and it's $20 a car. Come on, $20 a car, you know, I got 5 kids, I have $2 a car. And I hold out my 20, and I start to hand it to him, and he sees my hand, and I kid you not, he goes, oh, hang on, 1 second. Goes and to the little magic booth, I don't know what he's doing, comes out, he says, do you want a handicap pass? So what does that mean? So it means you get into all national parks free and all campgrounds half price. He said, but if you're handicapped, he said, are you handicapped? I said, yes, I am. So he says, can you write? No, sir, I cannot. So I put that pen in my mouth, handed it back to him, put my $20 back in my pocket, drove on. I'm like, really? I can't write, but I can drive? I do the Braille menu at the drive up. Okay, we have a little fun with it. But excuses don't fly. And that's what I teach my kids. I remember back in grade school, when I was going to grade school, I just switched this new school. My best friend was a dwarf. Yeah, the irony. Wow, they're coming in droves. And we were in class, and I learned, like several weeks in, he's only doing half the assignment every time because it makes his hands hurt. And I said, the teacher comes to me and says, does it hurt your hands when you write? I'm in 7th grade. Yes, it does. Ow! So she says, okay, you can do half the assignments. Thank you. Half seems like a lot. So I went the whole semester with doing half the assignment, and it was awesome until my mom found out. And that had to be one of the worst days of my life because I didn't know my mom could drive with one hand and hold my ear with one hand. My mom has one finger and pinches like she has claws. And she drove me, she ripped me up one side, down the other, and then did it again for the fun of it. And then we went to the school, and she ripped the teacher up one side and down the other, around and around and around, until that teacher was like, why didn't you tell me? Do half the assignment. And then we went to Mark's house and told his mom. And his mom ripped both of us, and then they tagged out. My mom ripped both of us too. I said, Mom, I already got it. I don't care. And then we did all the work. You see, my mom knew something very important. Excuses don't fly. There's a lot of things in life that we can go, I can't because, this won't work because, whatever. And that applies to a lot of stuff we're doing in our jobs, in our lives. Man, it's so easy at work to go, yeah, it's not my fault. If anybody was born to point, it is me. Point and eat donuts. My life right there in a nutshell. Or make donuts. There's no point to that. I owe you all like 5 seconds of your life back, but excuses don't fly. It's not right. It doesn't work to say, here's why I can't do that. Until you've done everything within your possible abilities and then beyond, you don't get to complain. At least that's my philosophy. Because here's the deal. It doesn't matter. It still needs doing. We still walk through life. I still got to learn to feed myself. I still got to learn to tie my shoes. I can tie my shoes even though these are Velcro. These are fat man lazy shoes, not one finger shoes. When we make excuses, we're declaring handicap. When we make excuses, we're declaring failure. Excuses don't fly in my family. And it has nothing to do with the hands. It has to do with the attitude. Because my boys will tell you as much as I will tell you, this is very minor. I know people look at me and go, wow, how do you eat? Well, obviously I do. How do you, whatever? I'll tell you, the only excuse I've ever made in my life are Levi's 501 button-ups. Worst things ever invented. Nothing like being a grown man in a restaurant going, hey, can you unbutton these? I'm really in a bad spot. I'm at an 11 on a 1 to 10. But excuses don't fly, guys. It's very easy to find exterior things that say, here's why I can't do it. I know you guys are going through some changes. I know you guys are in some ways you're remolding yourselves. I don't know all the details, but I know that things are happening. And the first step to failure is to start pointing fingers and making excuses. Now, that doesn't mean you just say, hey, I'll take whatever, stick it to me. But that means you work with an open ear and an open eye and an open mind and an open heart. You see, what happens is when we have a central goal, when we say, we're all striding to do this thing, and I'm in it to win it, that's so cliche. That was awesome. I've never used that phrase before. I'm in it to win it. I said it with passion. You drive forward and you don't pull each other down as you're moving forward. And that's what excuses do. When you sit around and go, here's why I couldn't do it. It's his fault. It's her fault. It's their fault. That brings everything down. That stops momentum. And I believe that with all my heart. When I learned to play drums, there were a lot of excuses. There were a lot of things. And I realized that I could have said, no, I can't at any point. And really, what does it matter? Oh, he didn't play drums. Failure in life. Oh, he's never going to make it. But when they told me, hey, you can't do that, that was a challenge to me. Hey, whatever. Yeah, I can. Now, reality of life is there are some things we cannot do. I am never going to hitchhike safely. This will get you beat up every time. If you don't understand that, I'll explain it later. Because he has 5 fingers, he's flipping us off. It's all in the face. If I'm smiling, I'm not. I might be, you never know. I'm never going to do pull-ups well. But who wants to do pull-ups? Really. There are things we cannot do. And we accept that sometimes. But only when we put all our effort into doing it first. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to work as teams. It's okay to collaborate and work together. But don't default to excuses. Don't make that your mantra. I can't because. In our house, we have a saying. Whatever, I can't, Dad. You can't yet. I can't do this yet. I'm never going to be able to do this. You just can't yet. No excuses.